Hey there, guys. We've got the Final Fantasy VII Vision World on the JP server, and I haven't really recorded much on the JP server in a while, so I figured I would, record the first few bosses. The final bosses are not ready yet, Rufus and beyond. That'll unlock in a few days. But we've got the first four bosses, so we're going to go ahead and do them, the hard stage. So this one is a human weak to fire. You can use magic or physical if you want. So we're just going to use Tyvis, quick and easy. And we'll even use Runda's little helmet to power up Tyvis even more, just for the fun of it. But you only need like 1 billion for these first bosses, so, relatively easy. We're going to turn the sound effects down a little bit. Alright, so preemptively, Cecil will apply a LB damage field, which is, convenient. Leftia is going to use her 100% fire amplify on Tyvis, and then we'll just imbue the party. We're going to use a human killer buff from Cleome and Axstar. Now, Leftia does do human killer, but not as high as Cleome and Axstar. Runda can literally just, cover, who cares. Cecil, nothing to do. And actually, what Cecil could have done is... Yeah, I didn't think of that. We'll do that in a second. It's no problem. We'll use the LB of... What's this guy's name? Hawkeye to imperil, and we will... Or not imperil, to break. And we'll use Tyvis to break. And this is probably massively overkill compared to what I need. I'm sure I could probably turn one OTK it, but, why not have some fun with it? So we're going to use Cecil's LB to put up a bigger Greatsword imperil as opposed to what Tyvis could do. Runda is going to use all his LB damage boosting gear on Tyvis. We'll use the LB of Leftia. We're going to imperil the boss from the Esper from Cleome and Axstar because we're going to be multi-element chaining. Tyvis can do... We don't even need that, but I guess whatever. We'll use his STMR for even more boost. And you can just guard. Okay. So we're going to kill next turn. Now, killing on turn 4 would have been even more damage because I could use the big break on Hawkeye, but I mean we're gonna overkill by a lot. All right, so we're gonna triple bolting with Runda. We're going to use Scarlet Wave with Cleome and Axstar. We're gonna use Blue Wave with Cecil and Hawkeye, and Leftia can just guard. Because whatever. Anyway, so this will be our 100 count chain score and a dramatic overkill. We did 5 billion. Yeah, we needed 1 billion, we did 5. So don't need to go through all the headache that I just did for your kill. You can easily probably do it on turn. Oh, 5.8. Wow. Yeah, we probably could have done like a turn 1 OTK, but whatever. Whatever. Okay, so I'll show you the gear and all in just a second. Perfect score. And it's pretty obvious who did what. Of course, the entire team was basically naked, other than Tyvis. But whatever. And moving on up. So let me show you the gear we used. But again, this was such an overkill, you don't need that much. Anyway, Leftia is just using her story mode thing, which gives you a 100% amplify to fire. We give that to Tyvis. Other than that, mana reduction, whatever. Dark Cecil was using his TMR to activate his field, and then Blue Wave to support chain, and we did his LB for a 35% Greatsword Imperil, which helps out Tyvis, and then his LB field, of course. Hawkeye is just using Blue Wave, and he's an 88% breaker. He does 89 breaks on turn 4, but I didn't feel like going an extra turn. Cleome and Axstar are just using Scarlet Wave, and he does 150 human killer. Then Runda is using his little helmet, which gives, his helmet, which gives mod boost to Tyvis. These all stack. It brings Tyvis's SLB up to something like 750 modifier. I forget the exact number, 750, 720, something like that. I don't know, whatever. But other than that, evasion cover, he just covered and provoked. And then Tyvis is using Titus's STMR for even more mod boost. We're using his own STMR for even more mod boost. So all said and done, Tyvis had something like a 950x LB. 9,000 attack power. He did get his chronicled upgraded sword, maxed and everything. Maxed LB, maxed human, etc. Chain cap up, and he's got the Knights of Grand Shell card. So that was dramatic overkill. Let's go to the next fight and do it again. Alright guys, next up is this guy. It's another Fire Weak stage. This time it's a Beast, weak to physical or magic. We're going to be basically using the same team. We're going to be swapping Axstar for Rain and Fina. And the only other difference is apparently it does magic damage on turn 2. So I swapped my Cecil to wearing resist gear in the shift form, so he'll handle that. So turn 1, we're just going to Beast Killer with Rain and Fina. Again, we're going to mod buff, or we're going to 100% amplify with Leftia. We'll cover with Runda. Cecil will do his LB, and we will break pretty much the same thing. So we're doing the big Greatsword Imperil with Cecil. We're doing the big breaks with Hawkeye. We're doing the Imperil with Tyvis. We're doing cover with Runda, and we're doing Beast Killer with Rain. So there's the Water Imperil. I don't know how much it is. Let's see. Let's go ahead and imperil the enemy with you. Let's switch you, and we'll do Omni Cover. Yes, Cecil can Omni Cover. Oh yeah, I went way too hard on Water Resist. But whatever, it's fine. Let's go ahead and mod boost you, and let's do Tyvis's Magnuses, which are mostly redundant with Leftia. It's fine, though. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so here's the magic damage. You know, whatever. We Omni cover it. And okay, let's give it a go. So we're going to LB. We're going to triple. Same thing, basically, we just did. Triple bolting. We're going to Scarlet Wave. We're going to Blue Wave. We're going to Blue Wave. We're going to guard. And we're going to hopefully deal more than 1 billion damage. Oh, 4.9. We did less than before. But again, whatever. Who cares? We did 5 times the needed amount. So this is fine. There it is, 4.9, we needed 1. Okay, so the only mix here is we just swapped in the Beast Killer for Rain, and we just tossed on some Water Resist on Cecil. And once again, you know, Tyvis handles that. I think the next 2 are weak to a different element, so we got to say goodbye to Tyvis, but that's okay. Again, the gear was literally the exact same on Tyvis, because he actually caps Beast Killer like by default. So I didn't even take off the human killers from that build. So whatever. Let's go to the next fight. See you in a second. Hey guys, next up is the Dollhouse. This one is weak to water. It's a demon. So water weakness means one thing. We bring Titus, and we're going to be bringing Nicole for the 100% water amplify. And then we'll be bringing Saul and Fina for demon killer. Otherwise, keep basically the same team. We're going to leave Runda here as well because I don't feel like swapping him out. And there's no real need to anyway. So this boss does preemptively buff himself. So to deal with this, we're going to wait for the auto casting to finish. We're going to just use Bushido Freedom on turn 1 to get the boss's buffs out of here. We'll use Titus to mod boost himself and basically just get ready. Saul and Fina can do Demon Killer. That's not it. Whoops. This is Demon Killer, right? Yep, Demon Killer. We'll do Nicole to imbue the party. We'll 100% amp on Titus, and we will imperil the boss. We'll do a Greatsword Imperil. There's no need for that, but I guess it didn't matter. Because Titus is actually using throwing weapons. Whatever. It didn't hurt. Okay, so hopefully the boss doesn't do magic on turn 1. Okay, physical damage on turn 1. He did a little bit of magic, it looks like. Runda took 700 damage. That's fine. The boss buffed his resistance, but I don't think that's going to matter. We'll just do whatever. We're going to kill on next turn. We're going to shift an Omni cover on Cecil just in case the boss does like craziness on turn 2. I have no idea if he does or doesn't. Let's go ahead and shift Nicole, and we'll do his shifted LB for more buffing. We'll imperil the boss with you. Runda can just guard, and you can just guard. We'll kill next turn, and again, I might be going overboard here, but it doesn't matter. Alright, so a lot of damage on the party with Cecil Omni covering, so who cares? The boss looks like he's resisting ice and wind, but we're doing water, so who cares? Let's go ahead and knock it out. So we will, whoops, Scarlet, Blue Wave, guard, and hopefully we get a perfect score. It was like a 2.7 in there, so that was actually a little bit lowish, but it was fine. 2.7 is, you know, more than we need. We needed 1. We need 2.7. So I guess the bosses are getting bulkier as we go deeper in. But again, I am doing like heavy setup, so I'm overkilling by a large chunk. Well, whatever. It's fine. Alright. So, as usual, just 1 unit carry. I don't feel like, you know, building a whole team, because there's no need to. We're going to have to do that on the final bosses anyway. So the party we did was... Nicole is just using mana reduction because, you know, his amplify cost 1,000 mana. But it's fine. Mana reduction makes it easy. Cecil, no change. Shift form is just using, like... I just went, like, all the resistances just in case. So, whatever. He covers. Hawkeye, no change, really. No change. No change. Cecil, or not Cecil, what is this guy's name? Titus, and the shift form is using, oh, you know what I forgot? You know what I forgot is, the Yuna STMR. Oh, well, I'll fix that for next time. I forgot Yuna's STMR, and I actually don't own Orin's STMR. Anyway, 7,500 attack power, a little bit low because I don't have the good Final Fantasy X gear, but, you know, whatever, maxed on Demon Killer. I mean, we still overkill by a lot. So, let's go to the final boss. See you in a sec. Alright guys, last up for the early bosses is this squid face looking guy. This is a magical only fight, weak to only holy. So I had to change the team up a decent amount. We're going to be bringing Return Fina for the holy buffs. We're keeping Cecil for the LB damage field. Kuja is going to come in for that 160 light imperil. Technically Rod imperil and 89 spirit break, but we're going to bring Savior for the 90% Spirit Break as well. And then Runda, just because I don't feel like swapping the party out. And then Yuna is going to be our damage dealer. She's an evoker, so we don't need a killer. And she does holy damage. Now, keep in mind, my Yuna is not crowned, so she's pretty weak. She does have crowns on the JP server. I just never bothered to do them. And we don't need it. Like, this is still a day 1 boss. Anyway, so on turn 1, like, we really just don't even need anything. Now, keep in mind, the boss, we're going to use ATB on Lightning. The boss does status effects pretty much every single turn. We're just going to be ignoring them for the most part. We're not ignoring them, we're immuning them. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. We're immuning the status effects. Okay, so Runda on this turn can just go ahead and imperil. Savior can LB. We'll do LB on Yuna to get her mod buffing. We can use Return Fina to imbue the party with light and all that. Don't need anything from you. And Kuja, like... the reason we're going to turn 4, by the way, is Kuja's good imperil isn't available on turn 3. And then on the JP server, Yuna's staff imperil is not available until turn 3. Not to mention that I can't use my, my SOB on my EX2 Fina until turn 3. So we'll just mitigate with you. We'll break with you. We don't need it. Doesn't matter. Alright, we're going to shift Yuna, and we're going to do Staff Imperil after we break the game. Staff Imperil, her upgraded STMR, and then her Magnus. Return Fina, don't need anything, so we can just guard. Cecil, we're going to go ahead and have Cecil do some covers and mitigations and all on this turn. Omni cover just in case. Now we can... Come on, Cecil. There we go. Now we can LB with you. And Kuja can now do his big light imperil. Okay, so we'll kill next turn. We're Omni covering with Cecil. He's not evading, but I mean, we took 6 damage, who cares? Status effects, again, every single turn. We're going to SLB Return Fina, and then usual, we're going to Support Chain. We're going to Support Chain. We're going to Support Chain, we're going to Support Chain, we're going to LB. Now, Yuna's LB is slow, so we're going to send her first. Then we're going to Support Chain. And we did 3.2, we only needed 1. So there it is. You know, if I had crowned my Yuna, she'd be doing like, you know, 5 billion or something. But if I don't have to crown a unit, I'm not going to crown a unit. So whatever, this is good enough. There it is. And Kuja rides his Silver Drake. If only he was a better unit. Big sad face. Anyway, rank 1 on day 1. Obviously, this is not the final bosses yet. Unit does all the damage. And there it is. And tune in, I think tomorrow, actually? Or maybe the next day. For final bosses. I'll show you the team. Return Fina, literally naked, I think. Or just status immunity. Cecil, status immunity, status immunity. Kuja, status immunity. Savior, status immunity. Shift form, status immunity. LB fill. Runda, status immunity. Evade, provoke. A fire weapon to properly chain with Scarlet Wave here. And then Yuna, base form, status immunity with her STMR. Shift form, status immunity with her STMR, double-handed staff build. My evoker gear on the JP server is like garbage. So it's really bad evoker gear, but it's the best I have. And she's basically really bad stats. 7,300 spirit, maxed LB, 225 Evo damage, 245 Evo magic. And again, if you crown her, like, she becomes way better. She gets way more passives, way easier gearing, more spirit. But again, I don't need to, so I'm not going to. That's it for the day one stuff. I guess I'll record my final bosses in a few days. See you then.